Hi everyone, and welcome back to the MS Workouts channel. If you're living with MS or a similar autoimmune condition, then you might be dealing with muscle atrophy, especially if you're inactive. In case you don't know what muscle atrophy is, it's when you literally begin to lose muscle due to aging and or not using it. You know that old saying, i.e. you don't use it, you lose it? Well, it's true to a certain extent. And that's why in this week's video, I'm going to guide you through several strength training exercises that will literally help you reverse muscle atrophy throughout your entire body. We're going to strengthen your upper body, torso, and lower body so you can start heading in the opposite direction and not just stop atrophy, but start to build muscle tissue so that if you are experiencing that muscle loss, we get you headed in the right direction. But before we start that, I want to go ahead and make two announcements. The first one is that I would like to congratulate all of the graduates of our Hip Flexor Immersive Workshop. We worked with over 2,000 individuals this past week, and many of them saw amazing results with our program. To celebrate their achievements, we are extending to our entire community a 20% discount to our 3-month membership plan when you go to www.msworkouts.com and use the coupon code HIPFLEXOR. This offer expires on Sunday, so take advantage of it before then because we will not be offering a discount into our membership program for a while. The other announcement is that we are hosting a special live workout class on our YouTube channel this Thursday, July 20th at 11 a.m. US Central Time. Our Steady Pace in-house trainer, Jacqueline, will go live on our channel to lead you through a full body workout with a special focus on improving your hip flexors. So make sure that you're subscribed to our channel so that you can join the event. You can also sign up for our newsletter so that you can receive a direct link to join Jacqueline once she goes live. Now that we've gotten through those announcements, let's go ahead and switch gears back to the focus on today's video. All you're going to need for today's exercise session is a chair, a safe space to exercise, a progress journal that you can download in the description box below, and don't forget to keep the environment cool with a fan, bottle of water so you prevent overheating. Are you ready to get after it and fight that muscle atrophy so that you can feel and be stronger than before? Let's do this. Welcome back, and as mentioned, we are going to work on fighting muscle atrophy. It's something that everybody deals with, and if you are living with a neuromuscular disorder, this can happen quicker. So it's super important to make sure that your exercise is effective, intense, and has specificity so you can fight that muscle atrophy, aka loss of muscle, which leads to all kinds of issues from a joint standpoint, loss of function, cardiovascular issues. So let's rock and roll. Okay, we're gonna execute a metabolic armchair push-up first. Make sure you have your progress journal. I have some resistance here that I'm going to use to ensure that I am using a difficulty that gives me the intensity high enough to prompt change. We want to challenge your muscles. You need to get close to or reach, ideally, muscle failure on every one of these exercises. If you're new to the channel and or new to exercising, don't use resistance today, okay? Just follow me through these exercises. Try your best to engage at the highest level possible. If you can reach muscle failure without adding resistance, excellent. There's no need to right now. As your body strengthens, you will need to add resistance, and you'll only know that if you're using the progress journal. So if you haven't printed one off yet, shame on you, hit pause, print it out below, then join me in a second. We're gonna do an armchair push-up. So this is an upper body exercise that's going to allow you to engage your anterior deltoids, your triceps, your chest. Again, I'm using a resistance band here because I've done this exercise before and I want to challenge myself. We're trying to reach muscle failure, which is the point where you can no longer continue with proper full engagement, okay? I'm going to go ahead and hit a clock here, and we're gonna start the clock. We're going to isometric set or a metabolic set, so we're just gonna hit a static hold. You're gonna press to the heel of your hand. I'll talk you through the form. All right, let's head to the starting position. Clock is on. Okay, so it's a slight bend in the elbows. The band is over my shoulders, so I'm weighting my torso down. The heel of the hand is where the pressure is. There's a slight bend in my elbows. Now, the resistance band is adding pressure straight down in a vertical plane, which is loading my triceps, my deltoids. I'm also going to actively squeeze these handles in towards my body to light up my chest. Now, you may be at a current function to where you're not able to lift your rear end up off the seat all the way. That's perfectly fine. It's not a bad thing. This is about meeting your body where it's at and challenging it. So what you would do in that case is you would bring your hips forward and literally just let your hips come off the front of the chair and press into the chair the entire time. When you get to the point where you can no longer continue to press with that original active engagement, notate the clock on your phone or on the wall. so that you can be measured, okay? You'll notate what second it says, and then you're gonna jump back in and continue. We're going to up to 1 minute and 30, okay? We're just crossed the 60-second mark. This takes us into the final 30 seconds, right? Which is what we call the exhaust range. This is really and truly where you want to reach muscle failures in the final 30 seconds. All right, breathing freely, slight bend, should be fatiguing, shake is natural, heart rate's probably rolling. You should drop shoulders, you should tuck pelvis, should not feel discomfort in your wrists, your low back. No more than 5 seconds to reach muscle failure. 3 seconds, feeling strong here today. 1 second and completed, slowly easing out. All right, I completed that armchair push-up with a silver band, so I'm going to notate that, right? Notice I said completed, right? I didn't say success because I didn't reach muscle failure. So I'm gonna write 130, I'm gonna write silver band, and I'm gonna circle the plus because I need to increase the difficulty next time to ensure that I'm adding the progressive overload that exercise requires to see not only results, but deliberately fight against atrophy and muscle loss, which is why we're here today. Okay, now we're gonna go to the torso, just went upper body. We're gonna do a trunk extension. So it's rectus abdominals as well as erectors. So we went upper body, now we're gonna go to the torso before we end up with a lower body exercise to make sure we're working the head to toe musculature of your body to fight that muscle atrophy. Let's do it. Okay, we're going to torso, trunk extension. We are gonna go isometric, again in nature. I'm gonna scoot towards the front of my chair here, okay? The reason I wanna do that is because I wanna give myself space to be able to extend my torso to make my abdominals actively engage. Keep a slight tuck of your pelvis. That's gonna protect your lumbar low back. It's also gonna allow your abdominals where they're attached down in the pelvis to stay anchored, okay? Again, if you are new to exercising or the channel, do not use resistance, okay? Just follow the form, arms across chest. If you complete it, then you can add resistance next time. All right, clock is on. Now you're leaning back and I'm not resting. I know you can't really see this. Let me see if I can spin here, okay? I am not resting on the chair. Notice there's a gap between, okay? I'm just back far enough to feel my abdominals actively engaged, pelvis is tucked, and I'm gonna diaphragmatically breathe, meaning all the air to my lungs, every single breath out. Let that diaphragm fully contract, fully expand, makes the transverse abdominals, innermost abs that work kind of as a girdle around your torso to fully contract. Now, we are looking for muscle failure. And on this particular exercise, it will be the point where you can no longer hold in this position actively engaged. We do not want to relax the muscles during the exercise set. We're trying to fully exhaust not only the musculature, but also the metabolic system as well. So we're metabolically loading the body as well as mechanically, right? So we're getting ready to go past that 60-second mark. I know you're probably fatigued, heart rate rolling. If you reach muscle failure, you're gonna no longer be able to hold in this position. You just go to the seat, relax, notate the time, and then just jump back in with proper form. I say jump, go slow, no momentum, no forces, right? No need for them. And then continue for the remainder of the exercise, knocking out, chipping away with as much engagement as possible. All right, I'm gonna lean back a little bit more, breathing freely. We have no more than about 10 seconds to reach muscle failure. I'm gonna focus on tucking pelvis, sternum down, breathing freely, squeezing abs. Feeling strong today. No more than 3 seconds, 2 seconds, and 1. Reach the 130 mark, completed, okay? Now again, I'm gonna say completed because that's not what I'm trying to do. It is a perception shift from what typically individuals are used to doing. Typically individuals are used to trying to get a certain amount of reps or a certain amount of time, when in reality, those should be secondary measures. The primary measure should be how well you're engaging so that you make sure that the stimulus, the communication of the exercise is enough to warrant change and fight against that atrophy. So I'm gonna write 130. I had a 25-pound dumbbell. I'm gonna make sure I write 25 underneath the resistance. I'm gonna circle plus because I need to increase the resistance next time because that wasn't enough to reach muscle failure. All right, let's go ahead and keep it rolling. We're now gonna go to the lower body. We're gonna execute a body weight squat, big compound movement, quadriceps, glutes. Let's finish things out. As I mentioned, we're gonna execute a body weight squat. It's gonna be an isometric set, just like the first two. So it's gonna be a static contraction, no shortening, no lengthening. You're gonna feel a deep burn in those quadriceps. Just know that it's all for a purpose, and the only expectation is your best effort. You don't have to do more than you can do, okay? All right, here we go. Now, notice I have a chair in front of me. And this chair is going to allow me to have proper form and stability so I can focus on the muscle engagement, all right? If you don't need the chair, that's perfectly fine, but keep it in front of you just so you can really focus on the engagement, okay? Now, I'm going to execute this with my body weight today so we can really focus on form. I want you to do the same. I'm gonna get the band up from underneath me, my apologies. I want you to do the same, and once you're able to complete the exercise set, then you increase the difficulty. We can talk about how to do that at a later date, and or you can leave some comments in the comment box below if you have questions about it. All right, so we're going to press through heels, stand up. Now you're not going all the way to full extension. We're gonna come back down. We're gonna go to 90 degrees, the angle of the knee, so we have total engagement of the quadriceps, and clock is on. Now notice I'm not resting on the chair, okay? And if you have to, bring your seat down to the lowest setting possible so that you can get down to 90 degrees, okay? Once you're there, if you need to use the chair or the countertop or whatever it may be, please do so, okay? If you can take your hands off and just use your body weight, do it, as long as you don't have discomfort in your knees and or your back. Now, we're looking to reach momentary muscle failure, which is going to be the point where you can no longer hold in this position. You have to either stand up, right, or you can't hold here and you go down. We do not want to relax the muscle. This is, I like to compare it to a sprint, right, not a marathon. We are trying to increase the intensity, communicate clearly to the muscles, and ideally overload them to a point where they're done and they get the message. Holy cow, I can't handle that, I need to adapt. All right, we're going past the 50-second mark. From a form standpoint, you want to make sure you're on your heels, your knees are slightly flared, and your hips are back. Notice my knees are not forward. I don't feel discomfort at all on my knees. And I've had 2 reconstructions and a scope on my right knee, terrible knee, right, from college football, right? But because my mechanics are appropriate and I'm loading the musculature, there's no stress on my joints. There shouldn't be. There's literally no movement here. So there's no impact at all on the joint, just musculature engagement. All right, I'm feeling a deep burn. We're in the last 6 seconds. 5 to reach failure. For 4, engaging. Notice there's a shake, right? Because I'm fatiguing, because I'm actively engaging. 1 and done. Completed. I reached that 130 mark. Now, I actually was pretty close today, and that's more than likely because I'm probably fatigued from my exercise session a couple days ago. But the neat thing about this is that, I'll be candid, I have pretty strong legs, right? Med-X leg press, I'm going unilateral with 300 pounds on each side of the stack, but I still was able to really tax my muscle here because I was focused on staying at 90 and flexing, actively pressing into the ground. And it's that intent, that focus on actively engaging the muscle, that's gonna increase the intensity. Notice my heart rate's up and rolling, because at the end of the day, when you create metabolic stress, right, exercise engagement of the muscle tissue, you then in turn ramp up every one of the systems in the body, cardiovascular wise, and more specifically for today's exercise session, fight against that atrophy. We let the muscle tissue of our body know that, hey, you're super important and I need you in my economy of my health. I need that muscle to not only allow me to be functional and execute my activities of daily living, but to protect my joints, to also take stress off my heart and lungs. There are so many reasons why muscle is important, and that is just a few. Please execute these 1 to 3 times a week. Again, go to failure. We talk about active rest all the time on the channel. That's the things, the activities, recreation, lower intensity modalities, movements that you're executing between your exercises. But this session today is a great full body session if you're adding enough intensity and progression over a period of time that you will directly fight against atrophy. Make sure that you have subscribed to the channel, turn on the notifications. Remember, we just finished our hip flexor immersive workshop, so any of you that were a part of it, congratulations. Super glad we were able to work with you. I'm proud of each and every one of you. And in celebrating all of the individuals who graduated the hip flexor immersive workshop, we are extending, don't forget, that 20% off discount code to our 3-month membership, okay? So all you gotta do is go to www.msworkouts.com and enter hip flexor, okay, as the coupon code, 20% off. Use it by Sunday. If you don't use it, it's gonna be gone. I don't know when we're gonna offer another discount code for a while, probably not. Utilize it, it's there for you. We wanna work with you. I hope this was helpful. Ask questions, let us know, let us connect with you, because if you understand these principles and you are encouraged to execute them consistently, you are going to change your life and see results, and that's why we exist in MS Workouts. Thanks for being a part of it, and I'll see you next week. Our YouTube channel is a great place to start gaining strength, but if you want to get serious about reducing your symptoms and getting results, then you need to be on a weekly structured strength training program with other individuals just like you. And that's exactly what we offer at MS Workouts through our membership. Click the link in the video or below the video to learn how our membership can help you achieve your goals. And while you're on the website, make sure you sign up for the no-cost 7-day strength camp so you can experience how we can help you do the things that you love to do with more confidence. See you all next week.